Hello and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program. This is the Station Ep.3 and today we are going to be very productive. So I am pre-recording again and let me just fill you in on what I did this episode. So I made 3 parts of the Sun Station and we just took them into a geostationary orbit around Kerbin and then docked them together. All that took quite a long time. For the past 3 nights I was working on that stuff and yeah, I managed to do it all. A couple of problems, for instance, RCS fuel sort of ran out here and there. Bit of a problem, especially when trying to dock, because you sort of need RCS fuel to do that. And next time I'll make sure I add a little bit to... Yeah, there we go, bit of a smash. I had a few problems, glitches here and there, where the mass was... more on one side than it should have been, and sort of I use symmetry, and if you have a look here, right, it's the center of mass is on the left, even though I have used symmetry to place the parts to duplicate this exact same part on both sides. So that's a little bit weird. So pretty much I spent a lot of time making a single design and then problems. As you can see there, I was just testing. Look at that, the part is gone and yet the center of mass is out of whack completely. So that was a little bit frustrating, and I had a couple of this. And look at that, the placing glitch. Yes, a little bit annoying really, because you put a lot of time into making something, then it doesn't work. But that's just the way the game is. It's still in development, of course. So prepare for the future when amazing things start to happen. So for these designs, I started to do something that I don't normally do, and that is use turbojet engines. I found them to be really useful, and a little bit laggy actually, because at one point I had 24 turbojet engines on a single design, and yeah, that does cause a bit of lag. But other than that, quite an interesting thing. So this is actually, I think, the second last episode of the series actually. Or maybe it'd be the third last, depending on what I decide to do near the end. And if you have a look here, I'm currently designing the fourth part of the station, but I actually called it the 5th part because one of the parts, like, it messed up my naming scheme because one of the parts just got completely glitched out and stuff. So yeah, I found this interesting placement sort of technique, where if you have a look there, it actually looks like those fuel tanks are, one as one, and they look quite bigger than the Rocket Max fuel tanks. And there, I decided to test out the, just in case the design was unstable, I wanted to see if it would actually work or not. And if we go back, and I'm a little bit far ahead, that damn time warp, this is a big time skip actually. A bit of a time skip. So this is the exact same design I was working on, and I just added some turbojet engines. Seems to be working fine. I've perfected my geostationary skills, so I'm almost like an expert with that stuff now. Almost. Only when I use turbojet engines, which seems to work. I did manage to, as I said, I docked everything. Everything was successful. I'm actually going to have to dock again, right, just to refuel the station, because the fuel tanks aren't as full as I want them to be, because it does require a lot of fuel. And check the Kerbals, they are all happy, yay. Yeah, this station has a whole bunch of Kerbals, incredible amount of Kerbals. It's just a lot, and yeah, look how happy they are. Very happy. I took a few screenshots here and there. Yep, can't help myself. Yeah, so there we go, trying to dock. As you can see, I'm just adjusting maneuver here and there just to make sure everything's precise. And I think the closest I got was 4.3 kilometers. Yeah, kilometers. To the other station, or the other rocket, from that maneuver that I just did there. So yeah, that definitely worked out well in the end. At one point that actually ended up smashing the 2 parts together. You might actually see it if I've included it into the video. I thought it up too much, I wasn't careful, Maybe because I haven't practiced enough, because you always need to practice with docking, otherwise you completely forget. And it's actually good to make a tutorial, or just know that someone does have a tutorial for you to watch in case you forget how to dock. So I have a tutorial, but it's not very good. Well, it's good for me because I actually understand what I'm saying, but someone else might not understand, so it's a bit of an issue. And on a bit of a side note, designs of the week, I have a whole bunch of designs, but I have to make them more unique, because if you actually look at, I have a whole bunch of concept designs, not real life designs, because they seem to be boring now. Concept designs are actually quite fancy, and they have a whole bunch of unnecessary features, but it's all about aesthetics. So yeah, that's part of designing, and it's good. Like, this is a new thing that I want to do. I want to incorporate functionality to the designs that we make. So instead of just making a nice pretty design, just make it a bit more functional, so that there's a smash, bang, gone. The worst smash ever. Yeah, I made sure to include that in the video, which is good. Yes, forgot what I was saying. What was I saying? Forgot. There we go. So as you can see there, I am throttling up so that way I can go straight towards the design, or the other rocket really. And there we go, slowly coming closer. Skipped a bit there, and we're gonna make it. The fuel is going down. As you can see there, I was keeping an eye on the resources in the top right hand corner, especially that RCS, because it just drains. I mean, if you have RCS on and you move your ship, turn on SAS, RCS will try and stabilize you, and it's sort of not the best thing the way it does it. And you'd know what I'm saying if you've actually played the game. And yep, look how unstable it is. No, that's just me moving it around, trying to slow down before we smash, let off extra weight, which was sort of the wrong thing. I shouldn't have actually done that, but I think here I actually skipped that part. Maybe the docking maneuver that I did failed, because I wasn't meant to press spacebar. I wasn't actually meant to eject those extra parts, because how else was I meant to dock? I could have used the other rocket, but you sort of need both rockets to actually work in order to dock. Well, at least I do. Makes it more easier, so at least one rocket can change position, and then the other can make it work. And for any of you who haven't actually docked before, it's slightly challenging, even for me, because as you can see, look how close the two parts there are. And the best thing is when the magnetism actually works, when both parts actually connect properly. As you can see, we have docked the ship. And see what's happening here, and I'll explain it in a moment. So what happened was, all that docking, during the docking, I completely did not look at my orbit, my geostationary orbit. In fact, I somehow managed to decrease the periapsis, the periapsis, which got me into the atmosphere of Kerbin, which actually slowed me down, which made me crash. Not good, I can't believe that actually happened, but don't worry, I did actually save it. I pressed F5 to make sure I saved anything that I actually did, and then you hold down F9 to go back to the previous save, which is the best thing you should do. And also, if you do something, like if you manage to dock, make sure you save your game files as well, just in case. I always end up doing that, and it has helped me, definitely. And look at that, now we're just trying to dock the final part. This is actually the last part of the Sun Station there. As you can see, a whole bunch of engines, which is what the actual design looks like. Well, sort of similar. And there's inside, right in the middle between those engines, you'll see a bigger engine. I think it's one of those Rockomax ones. I used that just to give me a bit of extra thrust in case we ever need it. And it did help me get into orbit, so that's good. And this design has a whole bunch of RCS fuel, like a lot. But because I had a whole bunch of thrusters, RCS thrusters, it actually drains quite quickly. And yeah, check out the solar panels, very nice and fancy. And the good thing about the 3 designs of the 3 rockets here that I actually end up docking, it's not very laggy. So that was the biggest concern at the beginning. Well, once I do connect, as you can see, ooh, nice, that was a screenshot right there. Took another screenshot. So hopefully when we do somehow dock with the remaining part of the sun station, which is currently orbiting the sun, hopefully everything goes well. And please keep in mind that it is going to be a very difficult docking for me, because it's an interplanetary docking. That's a big word for me. Yeah, so it's not as easy as it is for Kerbin, because around the sun the distance is just enormous and the speed varies. It's going to take a lot of time, a lot of fuel and RCS. So that's why I said I really want to refuel the station here, because if you have a look in the bottom left, you can see all the fuel and it's halfway. So not good at all. Nope. So yeah, getting closer. This part was a little bit frustrating, because I never really know when to turn on SAS or not. Because if the other rocket has SAS and you sort of want to use the magnetism feature for the docking, right? Because you know how if you get close enough with the docking ports, the magnetism will kick in and then 2 parts will actually connect sort of automatically, which is the best thing in the game. And I believe for the International Space Station, they have... did I just slow my speech there? They have like a docking arm, which is someone actually controls the arm. This is the actual station, real life, where they use the arm to hook onto the other ship, which helps out with docking, and that would be so useful in this game, incredibly useful. But I don't think they're going to implement it. Nope, definitely. There's probably a mod for that already. Yeah, I'm just guessing, but yeah, there should be a mod, some sort of mechanical robots mod, I think. Maybe that's just a guess. You could probably make it yourself. And yeah, look how close we're getting. Oh, yep. Are we gonna make it? Are we gonna make it? Yep, got it. Bang, and we're on the dark side of Kerbin. Ooh, there we go. Time up a little bit, and there we go. You can see the station. Awesome. Now, if in the middle part of the station, though, you can see those flat board type things. I believe what they're called. But anyway, they actually have Kerbal seats there, so you'll see what I'm doing. And the lighting system that I made was a little bit terrible, because the illuminators are really bright, the ones that I used. I should have used the other version of the illuminators, which aren't as strong, or at least they sort of spread the light instead of the ones that I used, which, point light in a single point, whatever. So in a moment you'll see me actually EVAing a whole bunch of Kerbals, and then taking them onto the Kerbal seats. So I think, yeah, that's the first Kerbal seat. Right click, bang, gets in the seat. And I just decided to fill up all those seats. And I put a lot of seats. As you can see, those Kerbals will have a very nice view and will never be able to eat or look after themselves in any way. What an interesting life these Kerbals have. Ha 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 ha. Yeah. So hopefully these Kerbals survive. And yeah, one thing I do worry about is the length of the... Oh my gosh, I gotta go, guys. End of the video. Hope you enjoyed. See you next time. Bye.